Hello my fellow Disneyers, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, hi, I'm Roxanna, and today's video is a collab video. This is a collab with a whole bunch of us Disney YouTubers. This is a quarantine pantry raid collab. So basically we're making food recipes with items that we already have on hand in our pantry. So my recipe is going to be a banana bread muffin recipe. So I'm going to show you all the ingredients that you're going to need, and then we'll get right into this recipe. All right, so for this recipe, you're going to need a half a cup of applesauce, 2 cups of flour, coconut oil, and then it's going to be melted, and then baking soda, baking powder, and salt. It's going to be a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and then a teaspoon of salt, and then some vanilla, walnuts, which are optional. I'm using liquid stevia. And then the recipe calls for cinnamon. I know this is like a huge thing of cinnamon. And then bananas. And then that is it. Alright, so you're going to want to mix all of the ingredients together. I'm using a food processor to mix the ingredients with. So I start off with the flour, and then I move on to the bananas. And then once I have all 4 bananas in the recipe, I then move over to the baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And then once I have all the baking soda, baking powder, and salt in, I then add in the coconut oil, and then I add in the applesauce. Oh, there we go. I just dropped the applesauce. And then I add in the vanilla and then the liquid stevia. For those of you who don't know what stevia is, it's basically like a sugar substitute. So you don't need to use as much. If you're using stevia, you don't need to use as much as you would regular sugar. And then I added in the cinnamon. And then here you see me struggling trying to get my food processor to work. I later realized that I have too much stuff, and then later transfer it to a regular bowl and then mix everything by hand. You see there, I am transferring all of the ingredients into a regular bowl, and then I mix it by hand. I then take my dad's mashed potato masher and then just combine all the ingredients together. If you're gonna mix the ingredients together by hand, you're gonna want to make sure that everything is fully combined together and that there aren't any that you can't see a single dry ingredient, basically. Then I added a little bit more of the applesauce because my batter was a little bit on the dry side, so I added a little bit more applesauce. And then I'm just taking a spatula and pushing down any of the batter that's on the sides of the bowl down towards the bottom so that those that can be incorporated into the batter and then nothing gets left behind. Giving it another good mix, and then I'm pouring in the walnuts and then folding them into the batter. You want to gently fold them in. You don't want to mix them in. You want to fold them in. And then again, I'm just pushing down all of the excess batter down to the bottom. Then I'm taking my cupcake tray, spraying it with coconut oil, and then each individual cavity with coconut oil, spraying it. And then I am taking an ice cream scoop and scooping in the batter. Pro tip, you can use an ice cream scoop to scoop in your batter, whether if you're making muffins or cupcakes. You can use an ice cream scoop to scoop it in. It's less messy that way. And then I'm taking the very little bit that's left and spraying it into my extra cupcake tin, into that one cavity. And then you're going to want to preheat your oven. Alright, so once you have everything mixed together, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I will try and convert that to Celsius for anyone that uses Celsius that may be watching this. But we use Fahrenheit here in America, so yeah. And then once your oven's done preheating, the recipe, it's originally a banana bread recipe that you would put it into a baking tin. But I'm turning them into muffins. The recipe says to bake them for 45 minutes to an hour. I'm gonna go on the low end, there we go, and bake them for 40 minutes and kind of watch them from there. I actually ended up baking them for about 20 minutes or until they were golden brown. If this is what they look like. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.